Let's talk about dolphins, shall we? Um, Another cliche in the world of humans who we all seem to have such narrow when it comes down to it when you repeat them back to people. Oh, dolphins, yeah, cleverest animals. And well, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But let's talk about dolphins and let's talk about the word herd that we are being thrust with at every opportunity. Herd immunity, herd this, herd that. Heard it on the grapevine, shepherd herding, I don't know, just herd. They just want you to feel that you're in a herd. Well, dolphins don't act like herd animals, even though pods of dolphins can exceed several hundreds. You would effectively describe them as a roaming herd. Um, they behave very differently to a herd animal, and I'll try and explain why. Imagine 5 lions on the Serengeti wandering into 10,000 wildebeest, a herd of wildebeest. That herd of wildebeest has gathered together for safety and is prowling around for safety. Well, they're not prowling, they're moving and eating for safety together as a collective group. But they also know that the weaker ones and the older ones, and occasionally a few, will be picked off. But they hope that the safety in numbers pays off. So these 5 lions go running into the middle of the 10,000 wildebeest, and at that moment, all of those wildebeest scream, "Every man for themselves!" and run off in a blind panic, and the herd just disintegrates. Little realising, of course, there's 10,000 of them and 5 lions, and if they only stood their ground, all, well, maybe 20 or 30 wildebeest turned immediately, this is, and stood their ground, those 5 lions wouldn't know what to do, and they'd slink off, and eventually those lions would have to eat their own crap. They'd have to eat bark. They'd have to, you understand what I mean? They'd have to bottom feed because the herd suddenly stopped acting like a herd and developed a new mentality, which was, hang on, there's 10,000 of us, there's 5 of them, what are we up to here? But of course, they're a herd. They're programmed by nature to be a herd. Well, we're being programmed at the moment by something that's not nature to be that herd. So back to the dolphins. You've all heard the stories of swimmers and people being protected and rescued by dolphins when there's sharks in the water. Well, dolphins react very differently to any threat within their herd or pod, because after hearing this, you can't describe a group of dolphins as a herd. As you'd have heard as well, dolphins attack sharks with sonic devices, clicks, high frequency sonic clicks. If that doesn't drive the shark away, they'll then target the shark's breathing, its gills. They'll actually try and ram its gills. Often a 6-foot dolphin can kill a 15-foot shark with a well-placed snout thumped into one of its gills. If that really doesn't work, then the dolphins will actually attack the soft underbelly of the shark and continually ram it. And very, very rarely do dolphins get eaten by sharks. In fact, it's the other way around. Killer whales, a member of the dolphin and whale family, prey on sharks. So, but they're bigger and they're cleverer. So, law of the jungle applies in the water as well. But the dolphins, even though they are a herd effectively in the water, recognize a threat immediately and deal with that threat immediately, and will also protect other species they deem weaker than themselves when they're in their environment. So dolphins don't act like a herd, and people revere dolphins, I think, for the wrong reasons in many respects. But we don't have to act like the wildebeest. If we acted like the dolphins, the bottom feeding, militarized, you know what I'm talking about, would have to literally feed on each other until there's only one left. But getting people to act like dolphins is difficult because people are encouraged to act like a lion, aren't they? Well, a lion can be beaten by a herd, where a dolphin, a few dolphins, can see off a great white shark And that's all I have to say about that. Cheers.